Because I have some more in my purse.
Good evening and what up though Detroit? You are watching In Session on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. You can stream us live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. So today, this is a good show. First of all, you know what? It's April 1st, it's April Fool's Day, and it is National Autism Month. Did
That's
you
correct.
know that?
Yes, it is. Yes, definitely. And actually, I told my kids today that I'm moving to Spain. They're like, Dad, are you serious? We're still in college. I said, I thought I was done with you guys.
Right.
And I did get them, but it was first thing in the morning, so they were still a little sleepy. And that's correct, National Autism Month.
Usually for April Fool's Day, I call my mother and I'm like, Mom, guess what? She's like, what? I'm like, I'm pregnant. And then she's like, oh, she's so happy. And then I'm like, April Fool's. And she always forgets every year. I'm like, this gets you every year, but I didn't do it this time.
By the way, talking about April's Fool Day, you saw that Volkswagen, they changed the name. And then they said, oops, April Fool's Day. But that went viral national news all over the world, and they were not real about it. So apparently there may be some legal consequences because of that. So,
you know, speaking of fools, have you all heard about this relationship expert, Derek Jackson?
Yes.
You know who that is, Dr. Fishta? Have you heard about this guy?
Not sure. I'm
Okay,
trying to...
so he's a self-proclaimed relationship expert. He's written a couple of books on relationships, and he just was found out that he cheated on his wife.
Oh, no.
And it went, yeah. So
that can
it
be
went,
a problem.
Yes, it can be. And he has been going back and forth, talking about the altercation and the situation. Now, granted that it happened like 2-3 years ago, but it's just coming out now. So now he's trying to do, some, what is it called? Control, when you're trying to control stuff? Damage control. Yeah,
yes.
He's trying to do some damage control when he has all these women that he has talked to about, oh, if your man does this, this, and this, and that, and you should get rid of him. And men hated him. Men absolutely hated him because he was telling all these secrets. And then this narcissist has now been found out that he's been cheating on his wife. There's been several women that have come forward to talk about the incident. But I always would caution people, when you have self-proclaimed relationship experts, do your homework. See if they actually have the credentials to talk to you about relationships. Steve Harvey have written books about relationships, and we know both of these men have cheated on their spouses or, are having relationship issues. However, people are flocking to them for advice. What is going on?
Well, and you have to wonder who they're trying to convince there, right, with these books and writings. But, you notice my sense of humor today, Dr. T. There's a reason for that, right? So, clearly we're going to have some people who bring humor to people's lives. And we know that a good laugh is very therapeutical. So I'll let you introduce our speakers today, our guests.
Well, again, it's April Fool's, and we are going to be talking about how to use humor to alleviate your mental health stress. If you're going through depression, if your anxiety is high, if you're experiencing post-traumatic stress disorder, or you're just sad,
The blues.
just have what we call the blues.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Humor has been found to uplift you,
Yep.
to increase your cortisol level in the brain, and to just make you feel euphoric or happy.
In addition, apparently, a laugh involves 400 different muscles in our face.
Absolutely,
Jesus
absolutely.
Christ, that's serious? Apparently it is, right?
Yes.
Because think about that, right? When you look at people's emotions, if you're crying, is the opposite of laughing, right?
You can't laugh while you're
Then it
or
would be
cry while you're laughing.
And there's a different clinical
Exactly.
issue there, right? But if you're laughing, obviously the mood is lifted in a different stage. So, to prove to our audience that we don't have an April Fool's Day, we brought our guest into the show.
That's right.
It's true.
Yes, we have two comedians, not one, but two comedians that will be with us today. First, we have Miss Cat with us.
Yes.
Woo! How are you?
I'm well. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Well, thank you for
Very nice to
coming
have you.
in. And tell our audience a little bit about you.
Oh, wow. I can go really, really far, but I started out, since we're discussing comedy, I started out in comedy. I opened up for my godson's rap show in 2013. I was a surprise guest, and no one was prepared, but it went really, really well. So I did that for a couple of years, and then I moved away to Georgia. I came back, but I didn't start again until about 2018. And I just went up for open mic at my friend Tony Roney's show, Comic
Tony
Vibe.
okay.
Nice.
And I've been on shows ever since. It's kind of natural for me. It's fun. It's very stress relieving for me.
And that's exactly what we're talking about, how humor can actually relieve stress. How did you actually get into comedy?
Well, I don't know. I've been funny all my life, pretty much. My dad's was pretty funny. And I just always had my friends laughing wherever I went. My doctor, my nurses, grocery store, wherever I went, people would tell me, you should go into comedy. And I'm like, I don't want to do comedy. I don't want to do comedy. And then in high school, they wanted me to put class clown under my graduation picture. And I was like, oh, no. I had a lot of accolades under my picture. I was like, I'm not going to put class clown under my picture. I may be councilwoman one day. And here I am.
Doing comedy.
Here I am, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we have Simply Chanel, who has just joined us. We're going to let her get prepared, take off her coat and everything. She actually has a comedy, hosts a comedy show every Thursday night.
Tuesday and Thursday night.
Night. Okay, so tell our audience a little bit about you and how you got into comedy.
Hey everybody. I used to be a juvenile detention specialist for 18 years. And one day I was just so upset with the injustice that I saw happening. Mm-hmm. And I was riding home from work and a commercial came on and said, are you funny? Do people always tell you you're funny? Well, come on down to All Jokes Aside. I drove straight there.
Okay.
I drove straight there.
Now, Chanel, we're aware of April Fool's Day, by the way,
No,
just in case you're going that route, you know?
All Jokes Aside used to be across, it was on Woodward, near the Fox Theater, and that's when they had Second City in the city as well. And I just drove straight there, and I'm knocking on the door, and Marlon Randolph opened the door, and I said, I'm here to sign up. And he was like, we don't sign up till 7. And this was like 3:15. I said, well, I'll be back.
I know that's right.
And it was a clean stage. I started on a clean stage. The only cuss words you could say was the had rule, hell, damn, and ass, because that's in the Bible.
Right.
So they had open mic, and if you wanted to win, you had to go by the had rule.
Okay.
And I wanted to win. So I don't even remember what I said, but I could remember the tension of the day. Literally, I could physically feel it roll off me. So I'm telling the audience how good this feels, and if they have a bad day, they should try it. And I guess they saw my expression, and they just thought it was funny. I really don't remember what I said.
Did
other
you win?
Than, yeah.
Oh, that's the most important thing, is that you won.
I won the first night, and after that, it just became therapy. Whatever happened during the week, during the job, whatever, I would wait and go to open mic, and I would
let
just
it all out,
discuss it, and so it's been therapy for me since.
Chanel and Kat, I'm just fascinated by comedians, and here is why. You go and watch a movie, you go to some event, and you can expect a team to win or lose. You can expect a movie to be one genre or another. When you go to a comedy show, there's one expectation.
And that's to laugh.
That's the laugh. And if I don't, you don't go back. So it's not easy to make it in a field. And what I'm more even fascinated about is by your ability to actually engage the audience, really feel their mood, and just keep going with that in a way that I think it has to do with understanding human behavior, human mind, and what actually and how people perceive jokes. And often comedians are real about real issues, yet they can say things that others can't.
True.
Because we laugh about it, right?
True.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, when I first started doing comedy, and my parents are ministers. My dad, he's deceased now, but my dad was a bishop, and my mother was a pastor. And for that Christmas, my dad bought me a book for Christmas that year. So You Want to Be a Stand-Up Comedian. And I didn't finish the whole book, but I'll never forget one part of the book. It said, comedy is reality exaggerated.
Absolutely.
So your car can get hit. Not everybody, but a lot of people been in a car accident. But was the car that hit you held together with bubble gum and duct tape? So is you just exaggerating on reality.
Right.
And you can say things that you actually can't in real life, right? It'll be has to do with racial or other issues. And in comedy, political, right?
Social.
Social. In comedy, you just call people out just like that, and everybody laughs about it, and you walk away just fine.
Well, it has to be. I do a lot of social for my not necessarily when I'm hosting, but for my book shows. I talk about, people in prison and the benefits of, 3 meals a day. I haven't had 3 meals since I was a kid.
Three hots in a car.
Yeah. Central air.
Right.
I have a
cable.
Fan. I have a fan
They
in
get
the
internet.
window. So it's just when you have an opportunity to have a microphone, you should say something of substance. So, you can have a gesture. Well, that's just there. Or you can have people who talk about real situations and make us all laugh at the stupidity of an actual situation.
Right. That's good. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching In Session on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. And we are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Periscope. But today, we have in our studio with us 2 of the funniest ladies in Detroit. We have Kat and Simply Chanel with us. And you ladies have been doing comedy for a few years now.
Oh, yeah, I like how you said that. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna age anybody here, so I'm just gonna say you've been doing it for a while.
She's been doing it a lot longer, but
Yeah.
I've been doing it a while, but she's been in the game a lot longer, but it's cool. We have good fun together.
Tell us about the game. I mean, there's so much behind the scenes. Do comedians really, do you all really get along?
Girl, quit playing. One of my friends, he was laughing the other day because he said, you always say, I can't stand comedians. And I do say that. And it's like any job. You go to work, you have coworkers that you like and you interact with. Some is you only interact with them at work. Some you invite to your home and do social settings. And some you just stay away from. And it's that kind of community.
Okay.
So when you get together, is it all about jokes, or do you guys talk about real life stuff?
Or do you argue?
No, for the most part, I think a lot of us stay in our own mind. We talk to each other and things like that, but we're preparing ourselves mentally. You're always in this zone that, you want to think what you're going to say. I don't know for her, but for me, I'm in this zone. So some people say I look at them and, you didn't speak to me. Well, I saw you, but I didn't see you, you know, because it just depends on where your mind is for me.
Take us behind the scenes. Do you write this stuff down? Because seems like it just all comes so natural and seems like in order. And again, I pay close attention trying to understand it. I never get this. Do you actually prepare prior to the show?
Used to. You know, once you've been doing it for a while, you kind of, you know, I watch people. I've been trained to pay attention to.
And you've worked in mental health before, so.
Me too.
Yeah, both of these ladies have actually worked in mental health.
For years.
I was supposed to do my internship at Lafayette Clinic.
Oh, bless your heart.
I last every bit of 7 minutes.
Tell us why.
Oh my God, it was terrible. It was just terrible. The stench. The people that was just in a hall in a chair. I'll never forget. I ran out of there. I sat in the grass and cried. I said, I can't believe I've been in school. Because, you know, on paper, mental health seems very, very interesting. And you could be like, oh, yeah, I can dig and dive into this. Until you're actually, for me, in a mental health facility and realize, hey, this ain't rabbit. You know?
Yeah, it's serious.
It's not. This is serious, and I'm a caring person, so it just wasn't for me. So it was really easy because I was able to switch over to drug abuse.
Okay.
So I did Harbor Light, my internship at Harbor Light when it was on Park and Cass Quarter.
Now I know there was a bunch of funny stories you can tell from just working at Harbor Light.
Ooh.
You know what? People always say that when they found out that I used to work at Juvenile or I used to be a drug counselor. It's like, I know you got a lot of good stories, and I actually don't, because I took it to heart, and it just wasn't. It wasn't funny.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't. You have the only funny story I have is at Juvenile. A young man was charged with a serious crime, and they were in the bullpen waiting to go to court. And another young man had said to him, you got to have detail of the story. Another young man said to him, you know, man, you got a serious case. I hope you got a good attorney. And he was like, nah, man, this serious. I got a lawyer. Like, you know, like, and he was dead serious. And you're being charged with murder.
Wow.
So it was funny, but it's not funny because you're being charged with murder, and you're going to get a lawyer instead of an attorney. I mean, like, how do you
That
not
right
see?
there lets you know that he, you know, his
Yeah, so it's not.
mental
It's not funny. You know, I don't
capacity
get
was-
any humor from any of it.
But you do from social justice or injustice,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do we have any of that going on now? Can you guys tell us anything
Look,
about
Dr.
that?
Savio's on. He's
I'm
all
trying
excited.
I'm trying to
Like-
get the ladies going over here.
My social issues right now is, how could America find Saddam in a hole in the ground and can't find my baby daddy to get my back child support? You know, he less than 5 miles away. You know, why is it that the only people in America receiving free health care is people that's incarcerated? What I gotta do is slap a cop and go to jail?
Yeah.
And get my
that'll do it.
cavity filled?
That'll do
You
it.
know, like, I just see a lot of stupidity. Why is America always dropping food everywhere else and we got hungry people here? Like, charity starts at home.
That's what you would think.
You know, we send money everywhere else and we have homeless veterans. Like, who is running the show? You know, and you want to be helpful. Right now, the issue is the border. It's the border, and I feel for people trying to get to America. But until all Americans have a place to lay their head, a home to sleep in, and food, we really can't help anybody until we help ourselves. Like, let's make America great. Now, what's the definition of great?
That's the question.
Yeah.
What does great
And you
actually
didn't say
mean?
great again.
No, because, and I love being American, but America has never been great. We may have been great in the eyes of other, but I can look in the mirror and say I'm beautiful, and somebody else can look at me and say, ugh. I would never, so it's all in our definition.
Is it difficult for you, Chanel, to make comedy out of social stuff, or does it come natural?
Normally, it just hits you. Mm-hmm. It hits you like a one-liner. Mm-hmm. You may just be thinking or watching the news, and then something comedic, hits you, and then that way you can pull the story and add what came to you to make it comical.
Right. We were talking about Derek Jackson earlier. Are you ladies familiar with?
Yes.
I know the name, but he's supposed to be a relationship coach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he has written a couple of books, and he does daily blogs, or used to, up until last month. And he was literally like, people would send him questions about relationships, mainly women. And he would give them advice. If your man is cheating, blah blah blah. Ladies, if he's not responding to you, maybe he's not that into you. Different things of that nature. And now he's been found that he cheated on his wife a few times. 2 women have come forward so far, and now he's trying to play damage control by saying, oh, well, this happened a few years ago. Me and my wife, we're okay. He even brought his wife on film.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what do you all think about that?
I think it might be a publicity stunt to gain more followers, more money, sell his books. He's not really impressing me because at the age I am, it's not surprising to me. So I don't put much into it. I mean, it's something that happens all the time. It's not like it's new, but the fact that he's a relationship coach and out here speaking to women and dogging, per se, men in relationships, and then you being hypocritical.
Mm-hmm.
Tell you
that
what I
makes
think,
him look
Dr.
really
T,
bad.
you get a wolf, watch the sheep kind of thing there. That's what it sounds like, right? Because clearly there's some deeper rooted personality possible issues here worth being a guru of relationship. Yet you look, he's an expert, obviously, because he has the experience, right?
Well, it's the same in any profession.
I think that's why I don't really know who he is. I've just seen different things on YouTube. But first of all, asking someone about your relationship, if they don't know both parties, to me, unless they are professionally trained, and then they have you come in for counseling.
That's correct.
Separately and together. So you don't even know this man.
Yep.
You don't even know this man. So why is you taking advice from someone that you don't know? And I agree with you. It's like the wolf in sheep's clothing, because apparently you have these women who are going through issues, so they're dealing with emotions,
they're very vulnerable.
hurt. Yeah, they're vulnerable.
Yep.
So of course he's gonna say, and then she's gonna be, I wish I had a man like him.
Right.
And then you realize you do have a man like him.
Exactly like him.
He doesn't have a podcast and a book.
Right.
And then he speaks in general. He's not speaking to a specific person. He's speaking in general, and then he hones in on relationships that are happening today. I personally can't identify with those relationships, so I didn't put much into it because, I mean, it didn't surprise me because, I mean, you find that in different professions. You find that, with your teachers flirting with kids or doing something with kids, pastors doing something with kids, or having an affair. Or
Texas representative, by the way.
People have affairs. It's not, he's just happened to be a relationship expert, but, throughout life you see that in any profession or any,
Right.
you know.
And
We're
then one of
human.
his videos, he
Right.
spoke in third person, like he
Oh
wasn't
my,
even
yeah,
him that
that
did.
really got
I was
it.
like, what the heck is wrong
What a
with
way
this
to
dude?
disassociate at this
Right,
point.
just
Get out,
totally
you know?
disassociated himself from the whole situation.
You know,
That
we
really got it.
a people of followers. You know, like right now, I don't travel like I used to with comedy. I'm very selective where I go, and you know, being over 50 by some years, everybody now, as far as comedy goes, you have to be on Instagram, you have to be on Facebook, you have to be on this, you have to be on that. You got to get this many likes, this many followers. So, you know, people just hitting like, and follow, and you're actually, sometimes to me, you're traumatizing your spirit because you're picking up too many different things. You know, I do not want to open my phone and I got some young girl twerking. Now I feel bad about myself because I can't do that dance and I'm not built like her. Swipe, I'm sad. Now I see this beautiful woman, but then when I go back, I see she didn't look like that in the beginning because she showed us how she put on all this makeup. Now I'm mad at myself because I can't make myself cute like that. I don't know how to do makeup. So sometimes I think we as a people, you have to control, just like you say, your personal space. You have to control your personal spirit. Like, I'm not going to let you keep throwing these images or this saying out to me.
You have
I'm
to
going
learn
to
how to
control what I
separate.
digest.
And it's obviously it's becoming an addiction now, and I think it's becoming such a deep-rooted addictive behavior that even becomes a clinical issue anymore, right? Because it takes time, either be work, relationships, and so it's affecting all areas of life, just like any other electronic game per se.
Electronic,
Yep.
drug,
Yep.
you know, alcohol. Some people, they actually put their phone in their bed with them at night.
Sure.
Can't miss a
Sure.
text. Can't miss
Sure.
a notification.
That used to be me.
Oh.
Where
I would
did.
never do that.
Well, you know, when you don't have a man, sometimes the phone when it vibrates. You know. But anyway, so so yeah, I used to sleep with the phone in my bed, but I don't anymore.
Wow. She just let us into her personal life.
Yeah, Chanel thought I thought I was the comedian here.
No. So, you know, it's a lot of important issues going on, especially with the pandemic. You know, we're going to see a lot of mental health issues.
Absolutely.
Oh,
We
yeah.
actually
We already are.
are.
Yeah.
The numbers are
Yeah.
increasing, not only in U.S., worldwide. Even when you look at the numbers from Italy, the suicide attempts have increased
Exactly.
significantly.
Yeah.
In our Metro Detroit area, we've had a major issue last several months.
Yeah.
And actually, unfortunately, many psychiatric hospitals, it's hard to get a bed. So they're
Yeah.
transferring people in
Different
far-
counties.
different, yep.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And then
Wow.
COVID doesn't help the
Yeah,
situation.
not at all.
COVID is the cause, and it doesn't help the
Correct.
situation.
Correct. And
Exactly.
that's when we need you guys. We just need you to make us laugh. And I assume that your business has been affected by this because
Oh,
clearly
yeah.
you can stand up in the front of a crowd.
Real quick, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching In Session on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Periscope. Please like, share, follow, subscribe,
I
and
love
comment.
it how Dr. T is always paying our bills.
Yes.
Well, you know, this show is actually brought to you by the event. I can't remember what they are, but they have an event, a pop-up event, April the 11th from 3 to 7 p.m. at 16515 Plymouth Road in Detroit, Michigan. So please come out. I will be there promoting my book, and there'll be a bunch of other vendors out on that date. So please come out April the 10th from 3 to 7 p.m.
Well, at least you knew the address.
I know, right?
So, what do you do now? How do you make people laugh and perform at your capacity, given the environment, obviously?
Well, I was fortunate last year because the club that I host and produce has a patio.
Okay.
So, weather permitting, and last summer actually was really, really nice. We were able to do shows outside. Now we're back in. And the thing is, like, that's why I called you and told you I was going to run a little behind. Because I go to the club at 3 o'clock every day that we are performing. And I personally sanitize every single table and chair with microban, which is a
that's the
24-hour,
stuff I love that.
24-hour barrier. You got to make sure people wear their masks. Sanitize. Try to get people to stay out of other folks' face.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, people acting like it's 2019 still. So yeah, it's really hard. But personally, I've had both of my vaccinations.
Me too.
I have a granddaughter with leukemia, so I was very fortunate that I took this serious before many people did. When the pandemic first happened, my granddaughter's doctor called my daughter and said, go pull her out of school today. And this was before the schools had shut down. And my daughter called me. She was like, Mom, Mike, a doctor called me and said, go take her out of school right now. And I say, what? I say, this is serious. I say, this is serious because, she goes to Children's Hospital, and that's a world-renowned hospital. And for a doctor to call and say, hey, take her out of school today. And so from that moment, I took it serious. Because my granddaughter's immune system is already compromised. And this happened like 2 weeks before the governor shut the schools down.
Okay.
And so I always took it serious. My daughter, my grandkids, they live across the street from me, so it's not like I'm not going to see them or not visit them. So I didn't want to expose. So I've always been extra careful. They used to call me the COVID police. Last summer, they were calling me the COVID police. Now they still say I have a COVID bag. Because they know when I come in with my backpack, I got sanitizer, I got wipes, I got I have
extra mask, right?
Extra mask. Today, I actually grabbed a box of gloves when I left my house because I just thought some people may feel more comfortable having on a pair of rubber gloves while they're out, So today I grabbed a box of rubber gloves and I'm going to offer that to them because I want to remind them that Michigan is now once again a hot spot.
Yep. Now that is your customers you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, comedians. Yeah, I do everybody the same.
Do you have people who follow you, so to speak, that come regularly, or
the majority of my crowd is regulars.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and I assume that then you're faced with coming up with new stuff all the time.
For me, as far as my show, no. Because I am the host. I do come up with new stuff, but I'll throw something. The show is not about me. The show is about the comedians I have booked.
Gotcha.
Now, you can go to some rooms and the hosts want to act like they're the headliner as well. But my job is to keep the flow going.
Okay.
That's my job.
So basically, you have different comedians that presented the show.
Yeah, I normally I was booking 3, but now I only book 2 comedians, and I'll do up to 2 guest sets.
Okay. And tonight you have our homeboy Mike Bonner. I love Mike.
Yes.
Shout out to Mike Bonner. I know he's probably at work right now or just getting off. And then who else you have?
And Durrell
Earl. I haven't seen his set yet.
Oh, wow. Him and Mike Bonner, they produced the show at Mark Ridley's for several years.
Okay.
They produced a weekend show once a month.
Okay. So, are you ladies ready to give us a sample of what people can look for when they come to one of your shows?
It doesn't matter to me.
I'm going to start with Miss Cat here.
Oh, why she would?
Yes, I'm going to start with Miss
You
Cat because you've
would.
been quiet over there. Simply
Well,
Chanel
I'm
has
courteous.
been really.
I don't like to interrupt people when they're talking. You
No,
know?
listen, this is a radio show. You have to get in where you fit in. Because you
Okay,
might get lost in the
okay.
sauce over here.
I like how you put that. Lost in the sauce.
Well, generally, my theme is I talk about dating after 50, the experiences I've had or seen, you know, so I kind of expound on those things.
Let's give us something.
Yeah,
give our audience
please.
something.
Give us
The-
what is
the-
it like to date
the
after
contrast.
50?
Spotlight is now on you.
The
We're going
It's
to
contrast.
not
let
that any of us is over 50, just saying, you know. What do we have to look forward to?
Well, I talk about the contrast between the 70s, dating in the 70s and 80s as opposed to dating now. And, you know, how people, you know, want different things and want so much attention on them. And I'm like, dude, if you want all this attention, you need to go outside and edge some lawn, trim some trees, put some paint on this damn house. Help me carrying these groceries. Don't text me WYD. I'm not into that. I don't have time looking that up. I'm too old for all that. I gotta go on Urban Dictionary. What you doing? What you think I'm doing? Twiddling my... I'm over here doing some work. I'm watching Lifetime, eating buns, you know. I just talk about things like that, you know, things, the contrast in dating now. And
So
I
this
was
is-
married for 22 years, too, so
Okay, so this is your
it's a big
show.
difference for
this
me.
This is your show. We're your audience. Let us have it.
Oh, come on. She really would. Okay. All right, then. How's everybody doing today?
Good, good.
Yes, Dad.
Is everybody fucking with their mask on, or are you taking your mask off? Are you fucking? Oh, can I say that? I mean, can I say that? You know, you told me to let.
I'm fucking with it off.
Oh, my.
I don't know about Dr. Sabi over there.
Just COVID
What are you
ready.
and your wife over there?
Just COVID ready, huh?
We tried it both ways. We're
Just-
kind of old school, though.
Just COVID ready. I didn't, you know, I swear I didn't know I was going to be doing that on the radio, but.
Come on.
Okay, that's about it.
Now she done put candy in her
I'm gonna give you a
mouth.
little
just took it
commercial.
out.
I'm gonna give you a little commercial. I can't give you my whole set. You know what I'm
Yep,
saying?
yep.
I understand, cause you ladies are actually,
She said, "Wow." Chanel said,
you
"Wow."
ladies are actually going to be doing the show Mother's Day weekend, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
tell us before you start yours. Tell us a little bit about the show, and where's it going to be?
Five funny mothers.
Yeah, Five Funny
Marianne
Moms.
DeMoss puts this together. She produces it every year. She does a Mother's Day show and a Father's Day show. It's at the Joy Manor
In Westland,
in Westland on Joy Road.
right off Meadowbelt and Joy. Yes, on Joy, but right
yeah,
off
but
Meadowbelt.
you have Kat, myself, Karen Addison,
T-Bar
T-Barb,
and
and
Marianne.
And Mary.
Marianne.
Yeah.
And it's really a really nice event, even though this year it'll be a little different. Normally dinner is served, but they have an outside person that will be...
I think you can order pizza.
You can
or
order,
something like
yeah,
that.
you're
Or
not getting
order
a
out.
full Mother's Day meal like you normally would.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's going to look a little different.
It's going to
because
look a
of-
little
okay.
different. Yeah.
But Marianne did tell me she was going to get back with me because I asked her about it because a couple of my friends are like, are they frying wings or anything, you know? So
I'm not
she
sure.
said she would get back with me. So I don't know. They didn't last year. The last time we were there, they didn't. And they didn't let us know either. So, but it was still cool. But people were surprised because, you know, they had to order pizza from outside.
Okay. So how does that show? That show is normally it's five mothers, obviously, and you're doing comedy catered to mothers. How does that actually work?
Girl, can't none of us stand our kids.
And then I'm going to talk about my mom.
We
so-
love them, but we don't like them. Girl, if my kids weren't my kids, they couldn't be my kids' friends. They wouldn't be allowed up in my house. So you know, that's so easy. You know, because have you noticed kids nowadays are too grown
Mm-hmm.
My God.
because we done showed them too much.
That's right.
When I was a child, I knew my place.
And they told you to take a
Yeah,
walk.
yeah, I
Go in
knew
another
my
room.
place.
Go in another
So
room.
you don't necessarily dictate it just for mothers. You just want mothers to laugh. So you don't want your whole set to be about, necessarily being
Women
a
issues
mother.
or something.
Okay. Talk about trying to get into heaven. I talk about I'm trying. You trying to get into heaven? Girl, I'm trying to get into heaven because my kid's bad as hell. Ain't no way I'm going to die and they in hell and I'm in hell too. Complaining. It's hot. I'm in hell too. Go talk to your grandma.
Complaining it's hot.
Just to say, they need some water.
Yeah.
You should have thought about that when you was on Earth.
You speak of a lot of issues. You just do a set. Certain things I'm always gonna talk about Kwame Kilpatrick.
Oh,
Did you hear that the Temptations was thinking about remaking one of their songs?
I did.
I got the lyrics. You want to hear?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Kwame was a rolling stone.
Well.
The way he spent city credit cards was wrong. But then he lied and left Detroit for another home. It was the 3rd of September.
Dum dum dum
That day we'll always remember.
dum dum dum.
'Cause that was the day that the mayor lied. Of course we got a chance to see it. All day long, Channel 2 show repeats of it. Kwame, we're depending on you to tell us the truth.
Well, that ain't right.
Kwame just looked up and said, you better get up out my face. I am the mayor and I won the race. And I didn't lie. Steve Wilson set me up. Oh, I can't wait for it to come out. It's going platinum. It's going platinum.
That's a hit. That's a hit.
Yeah, it's going platinum.
Did you make that up, Chanel?
Yeah, I'm very political. I'm very, I actually work for both of Kwame's run for governor. Actually
That
hit the
was pretty
pavement
good.
Saturday mornings, knocking on doors, encouraging people to get out and vote. And so I was vested. I was vested in him performing. Because I take my vote very serious. I just don't vote for anybody. And I was really impressed with this young man that was highly educated, very intelligent, and he looked like me, so I was vested. So I really paid attention to what happened. And not only with him, with the county, with McNamara, Jennifer Graham Horn. I was one of the 100 women to get her elected. I'm very political. I will hit the pavement. I will canvass.
Question, Chanel. Do you think Kwame is gonna run again?
Not here.
Okay. All right. Just checking in.
He's gonna run and keep running and running and running.
I believe, I think it would be such a waste for him not to be able to utilize his intelligence for the greater good. Like, he made mistakes. He made them on a higher level, but a mind is a terrible thing to waste. And
Fully agree. That's why, to be honest, I never ever agreed with the long sentence they gave him. People do way higher crimes, they never
Right.
get that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And remember what got him in trouble was Christine
A
Vidi's
lie.
story, right? A lie about, the relationship that really started this whole thing.
Right.
So I never agreed with the long sentence he got in federal prison. I was actually against that. I thought it was too much.
I think they gave him that long sentence because they couldn't find him guilty of what would justify that sentence. So
Correct.
when you have leadway,
Yep.
And
he lost basically the people just didn't love him anymore. And
I think they made an example out of him myself, because the dude across 8 Mile had been doing stuff like
if
that.
they're gonna
for
make
years.
some examples, they better move to Washington D.C. You know,
Amen.
and so and they obviously, you know, this guy did wrong, but I don't think he deserved
It didn't
30
warrant
some
it.
years.
No,
To
it
me,
wasn't warranted.
The saddest part of the whole Kwame drama, was the effect that it had on his mother.
Well, not on his mother, on this community and this state. Actually,
and
right?
actually America, because
Correct.
she was a congresswoman.
Yes.
She was the head of Ways and Means,
Yep.
which is
Yep.
the pocketbook of
Yes,
America.
Exactly, and she had been there
Forever.
a couple dozen of years, right? And that was, I think, very just not cool for us and then for America, like you
Yeah.
said.
Right. And
next.
then not to just mention his children. You
Oh,
know, his
yeah,
children
yeah,
and his
yeah.
wife. I mean, this just
I
wasn't
mean, he's
about.
lucky he's alive, because Carlita could have ended the whole story there, right? But clearly he made it there, so.
But it wasn't like he's the first person that ever done that. L. Brooks
Precisely my-
Patterson, what was he doing across
Precisely,
8 Mile?
precisely my point.
How many
Right.
DUIs
Precisely my
did
point,
he have?
Kat. There you
Doug,
go.
and they
How
got
many
him on
DUIs
video.
did he have, and he never? What did he do? I mean, he
Come
didn't-
on, politicians don't
He
cheat,
was-
Right,
don't do
well,
stuff like
well,
that.
Well, I mean, we even have
Unless you're a
reports
star.
about Duggan cheating on
Yeah.
his wife, and she's divorced him and
I mean,
everything.
yeah,
and same thing
you know,
Kwame did, Duggan is
we're more
doing, and we're not
scrutinized.
doing anything about it.
Well,
you know,
when the thing is, they weren't sitting in a court of law and lied. Kwame sat in a court
He
of
purged-
law and perjured
Perjured.
himself. With the other people that are getting caught up, once they realize the gig is up, they coming clean. Yeah, I done talked to my wife. I had a meeting, family meeting with the kids
I
and the
don't think he
dog.
was ready to talk to his wife about that. That was where the hang up came in. And, you know, he
Yeah.
thought he was a lawyer and he can navigate the system, but at that point, there was a no-go
it
there
was a
for him.
no-go.
Yep.
Absolutely.
But thank God that at Detroit, we have rebounded very well
Yes.
behind that major national scandal.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
We rebounded.
Yep,
Yes.
very proud, and I hope to see that kind of development move on to the neighborhoods now, actually. So
Yes.
I hope that's where we get to, because it's good on pictures, it's good.
This is some serious conversation. We're supposed
For
to
it to
be
be
laughing.
comedy.
I am
Everything
not.
ain't funny though.
You,
Today is
Ladies-
supposed to be.
you make it funny, please, because now, like, my feelings several years ago are coming all, and I'm feeling like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
So-
we bounced back. We bounced back. Detroit, you know, you ever go out of town and tell people you from Detroit?
Oh,
They always ask to say, is it as bad as they say? And you be like, yeah.
Well, at least they don't grab their purse. So it's like, oh, you from Detroit. You know?
They just mentioned the murder. Oh, you can fight, can't you?
You
know
from
what?
Inkster.
Murder, yeah,
That's,
that's the
that's
murder
always
capital of the
the
world.
expectation when you go to another state and you tell them you're from Detroit. They just automatically assume that you can fight.
Yeah.
That you're
Everybody from
aggressive.
Detroit can't fight.
Yeah.
You know, that's a myth. So
My uncle came up here years ago for the first time, and he's from Mississippi. My aunt's husband, he's from Mississippi. So you know they always call Detroit the Motor City. So when Uncle Henry came to Detroit, he actually thought everyone in the city of Detroit drove brand new cars.
Oh.
And so
C300,
he was so
so-
highly disappointed.
I bet he
He was like, all these raggedy cars, this supposed to be the Motor City. But see, he lived in Mississippi. Then he moved to North Carolina, and my aunt married him. Him and my aunt got married, and she came up here and brought him up here on vacation. So,
Wait,
you know,
why do you took vacation? Detroit?
my mom's here. She
Oh,
had
okay.
And plus, he liked to gamble, and we
Okay.
had the casinos. You know, it was she could knock two things out with one trip. She could
Right.
visit her sister, and Uncle Henry could go to the casinos. But you know, he had heard about Motor City, Detroit, all his life, so he just envisioned, I guess, what Detroit would look like. Just be shiny cars, you know, all over the place. So then when he see these cars halfway dented up, and it's like all these, I thought everybody had a new car in Detroit. I'm like, nah. I can hear you. I don't know why they probably call us Motor City because we can't believe that motor's still running. You know,
Right.
but yeah, people have a different view of the city, you know. But it's I love Detroit. You know, Detroit has been really nice to me. You know, and I'm from North Carolina, so
Okay.
this is the only other state I've ever lived in.
How did you come to Detroit?
Girl, my mom was leaving my real father like a thief in the night.
And she decided to bring you along.
No, I'll tell you how we were, and this is a true story. My mother got married at 16. You know, that's when you got married young in the South, and Dad was only 19.
Okay.
So anyway, it was some domestic violence in the relationship. So my mother, I'll never forget the day my mother left my real father. He left for work, and she hiked us up in the attic and was like, you know, it wasn't even suitcases, it was trunks. Like,
Yeah, those
pull
big
that
trunks.
trunk.
Yeah.
And went to the Greyhound station and bought tickets on the first bus that was leaving, and it was Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, so she had no destination. She
No,
just like
it
put
was
me
like-
on the first thing smoking. I'm
First
out of here.
thing smoking. And that's not to say that my dad was bad, because my dad, you know, they wound up getting back together, you know, but my mother did what she had to do. She said she never wanted us to see abuse, and I've never seen abuse in my home. You know, she said she would try to fight quiet. She didn't want to wake us up. She didn't want us growing up in that kind of environment because she didn't grow up in that
How
kind
do
of
you
environment.
fight quiet?
Girl, I don't know, because I'm not fighting
She
in
was
my house.
smart.
I'm
She
not
was
living in the
smart.
house I got to fight in.
I know
No,
that's
I'm
right.
not. I'm just not. Your home is
She was
is
strong too to
safety
fight.
place.
I mean, quiet.
Yeah.
She was strong to fight
Yeah,
quiet.
I just don't, you know. No, when I'm at home, I'm safe, I'm peaceful, I control every aspect of what's going on while I'm there, you know. So, no, I'm not going to live in no house like that.
I know that's right. And ladies and men, gentlemen, neither should you. If you are in a domestic violence situation,
Amen.
it is time to get out of that situation.
Don't walk, run.
Exactly. Get on the first bus out.
Wherever it's going.
Wherever it's going. Get out.
Even if it's going to Canada.
And, you know,
Exactly.
we're laughing about it, but
It's
domestic
serious.
violence
It's
has
serious.
picked up.
Of course,
Exactly.
And people,
Oh yeah.
you know,
Especially
used to
since COVID.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
used
yeah.
to could go
COVID,
to a shelter or, but now they have to limit the amount of people.
Exactly.
So we saying run and go, but
Where?
where?
Yeah.
Find somewhere
Very
to
true.
go.
Yeah. And then there's always 211 locally that you can call if you don't know where any shelters are. They can help you. And 211 is all across the United States. So it's not just, you know, something for the Detroit area.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, ladies, I want to thank you for coming on our show. It has been a blast. And you have been watching In Session on WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world that airs or streams each and every Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Periscope. Please join us next week. We will have Dr. Officer Detective, I forget his title, Malcolm Moyes, and we will have Mr. King here with us. We're going to be talking a little bit about police brutality and some of the stress that police officers go through in
Amen.
their daily life. So join us next Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. on WJZZ Cool TV.
Yep. Have a great weekend.
Thanks. Hi. Bye.
All right.
Is it on?
It'll go off.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That was nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, that's a good subject for tomorrow. I mean next
Yeah.
week. Yeah, because a lot of people are not understanding that all these cops don't agree with what they see, and everybody is not just, oh, I see him jump on, I turn my eye. Some of them get involved, you
Yeah.
know.
Because we're going to be talking about, you know, Blue Life Matters.
Mhm.
But the officer is black, and he's like, black lives matter too. I'm a black
Yeah,
officer
can you
before I'm a blue
my
officer.
God.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking about
I'm gonna have to listen because I make it a point anytime I see the police to tell them to be safe and to thank them.
Yep. Yep.
Because when something go wrong, who you call?
That's right.
Call your mama
I
first.
call my mama.
You call your mama. You know we gonna call mama.
But
even
then
if
what is the mama gonna tell you?
call the police.
All
Call
right.
your sister. Call your sisters.
I
so we can
believe
ride
in-
out.
I
That's
believe in calling the police. I just had to do that a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about mental illness. Like my next door neighbor, he just had a break.
Oh no.
He's such a good guy, him and his wife, but